Hi everyone, this is Elaine. Welcome to Flat Earth For Dummies 101. Definition of dummy, indoctrinated in globe from birth.
Good evening, Elaine. I'm the sarcastic Barman. Welcome to my channel. Now, Flat Earth For Dummies 101, that sounds like it's going to be stupendously interesting. It's going to be full of facts and information that you can use for the Flat Earth, and definitely not crazy mumbo-jumbo stuff that's just been made up.
Recently, a story has been going around that a massive root system 4 miles deep and 4 to 7 miles in diameter was found under Devil's Tower, Wyoming.
Oh, we're jumping straight on the crazy train, I see. Wow! Like, stupendously crazy. Now, this original story that we're referencing comes from Casper's. And here's the article. Or should I say, here's the Facebook post off the satire page that Casper's is that just takes the mick with things. Yeah, it's not a proper scientific website or anything like that. It's not even a scientific Facebook group or anything. It is literally a comedy, jokey satire page to make people laugh and smile, which Globebusters have then taken for the real thing, or they did no research on this. Either of these I could actually understand. Now, I'm going to run the intro, because I need more beer. You're going to watch the intro, and then we're going to laugh at more Globebusters' stupendously craziness.
Claiming it to be an ancient, massive tree. While Reuters has fact-checked the source and cannot find any credibility to this story, there are in fact hundreds of well-researched videos and articles on the internet postulating that these thousands of tabletop mountains, plains, and plateaus around the Earth are exactly that, petrified stumps of ancient trees of a size we cannot possibly fathom today.
So hang on, you fact-check the story, you know it's not real and there's no facts behind it. If you fact-checked it, you'd have known the original source was Casper's Planet, which is a satire site, and yet you still decided to open up your video with that story. Okay, you've got some balls on you, I will be fair, because that's just opening you up for a serious piss-taking. But then you try and say, yes, there's lots of other stories and documents and research videos that say these mountains are trees. Really? Yes, they're definitely trees. They're petrified trees. How did they become petrified? Reasons. Time and reasons. We'll play a bit more. We'll discuss some of the finer problems of how this is not going to work in your favour in a moment.
If one of the smaller tabletop mountains, like Devil's Tower, were once a tree with a diameter of 923 feet, or roughly 11,000 inches, it would require at least 111,000 gallons of water each week, or roughly 5,800,000 gallons of fresh water every year.
I think you're actually underestimating there. If the spread of the tree alone was 922 feet, which is a huge amount, let's be fair, it would require nearer 400,000 gallons of water for 7 days. Let alone just the base being fucking 900 feet across. I don't think you've worked out how crazy an idea this actually is. And I'm still wondering who cut the tree down. I'm sure we're going to get to some crazy thing there, and what the hell they used to cut it down, because that's going to be a big axe.
One of the bigger ones, like Table Mountain in Cape Town, South Africa, with a diameter of 2.3 miles.
A 2-mile wide tree at the base. Sorry, Mike. Wow, I think that statement actually broke me and made me get more beer. Yay, beer. Now, if we do the maths and say, yeah, the trees are in ratio with, say, some of the tallest trees around nowadays. So, a 379 foot tall tree with a 22 foot width base would equate them back to this tree being just under 40 miles high. That doesn't even bear thinking about a 40-mile high tree. And the branches coming out from it, how much of an area they would actually cover. And you have to ask, is everything on the tree in proportion? So are the leaves bigger, or are they normal sized leaves? Because if so, in winter, geez, it's going to be horrendous. And I mean horrendous trying to walk through everything. If you're saying everything's bigger, that just makes things even scarier. You have leaves coming down, crushing houses and people, let alone any fruit or nuts off those trees. It's bad enough being under a tree if a conker falls out of it and hits you on the head. What are you going to do when a 40-foot apple or a 40-foot nut comes down and cracks one open on top of you? You're just going to wipe out entire towns and cities with leaves and fruit. This entire premise is batshit crazy, and not even in a fun way. It's just stupidly crazy. But I really want to see what else he's got to say about it being so goddamn stupid.
Now, there are literally thousands of these things all around the world, and one could imagine an ancient world much like the movie Avatar, only with trees much bigger than that movie. But where would all of the water come from to keep these trees alive?
You've got a tree 40 miles high, and your main concern, where does it get the water from? My main concern is going to be if it's a windy day and one of those branches snaps and falls, how many people are going to die? Because, no, that is not my biggest concern, is where the water comes from. Because it's only going to get as big as it can find water, so we'll just say, yeah, there's water somewhere, whatever, it's on top of a spring. But you're saying there's thousands of these trees, all requiring millions upon millions of gallons of water a year. So, trillions of gallons of water a year. No. Just no.
Trees cannot live on the salt water of our oceans and seas. Many of the ancient cosmologies depict their belief in our world as an enclosed terrarium, resting on or perhaps floating on a giant foundation of what might be a pure fresh water table, a perfect source and delivery system for the hundreds of trillions of gallons of fresh water it would have taken for thousands of trees of such magnitude to grow, live, and thrive in.
Right, let's work this out one step at a time. You have the Earth, big flat disk in your opinion. You have humongously huge tree. The humongously huge tree's roots are going through, all the way through Earth, and out and collecting water from what you think is a giant freshwater ocean underneath Earth. Okay. Now you just got to point out that how did the tree roots manage to get all the way through Earth, even though we know as we dig more it gets hotter, and we can only dig a few miles really down, but you think these tree roots get all the way. Right, and to dig that deep, wouldn't they have needed the water to start with to get that big so they could get the water? It's a circle that doesn't really work, isn't it? A bit like the Flat Earth. Hang on a minute. You think the 2.5 mile across tree is only going to be 10 miles high? Okay, I'd love to see where you got a ratio of 1 to 4 from, because that just sounds silly. So what I did is I got this. So here's a load of trees. We then averaged the height of all those trees and got this number. We averaged the width of all those widths and got this number. And we use that basically as our ratio of roughly height to width of a tree. That's going to make that tree a bit bigger than 10 miles. Closer to miles.
Many of these mesas and tabletop mountains have giant waterfalls pouring either off of them or out of the sides of them, but have no lake on top and are too flat to collect any amount of water or rain of such volume. So where is the water coming from?
No, They don't have water all the time though. If you look at this image here, which is the same image you sort of showed, but without the water, because guess what? It's dry season in the Amazon dry forest. Oh wait, it's the Amazon rainforest, isn't it, where that mountain is? Yes. The name sort of gives away a source of the water that's coming down on this one. And then again, we have another lovely image here, which is Angel Falls, which is the other one you showed, another set of mountains in the Canera National Park in Venezuela. Another area that gets just a bit of rain. But not only that, that's part of a river. And we know the source of the river from the mountains further up, because that's not even the highest point it's coming off. So, no, you just fail absolutely, well and truly, completely and utterly on this. I know later in the video you say, yes, it's like when you chop a tree down and the water keeps coming up. No. Just no. Let's just have a look, see what else Flat Earth For Dummies 101's got to offer. But I'm thinking at this point they misnamed the channel. It should be Flat Earth Dummies.
The demonstrations you have just witnessed of a massive worldwide catastrophe in antiquity supports the biblical story of the deluge in every detail.
Dr. Brown's point is what we discussed in part 1. When we look at the shapes of the oceanic ridges against the major mountain chains, they fit more like a glove in shape, direction, and contour than the actual continents themselves do in the Pangea theory.
No, god damn, no. We're really going to go through more stupid craziness. So his theory is that the ridges in the oceans and things are made by giant trees being blown over, and that's what's caused the ridges. Just ignoring the fact that we've detected movement in the crust. We know how, well, roughly how they're moving to enough of a degree that it's a scientific theory. And for anyone paying attention to the corner of the screen, you'll see that the way he moved over the continents is not how they actually moved. But we can't expect a flat earther to do any actual research or looking into it, because then they would find things that don't fit with their model and they'd be like, no, it can't be real, it doesn't fit. Just because you've got scientific evidence is not fair. I want to make up stories about giant trees. My beer's empty, damn it. But no, I really don't get how we've got to this point in life where you get flat earthers as stupid as this. Or even worse, as stupid as this.
For the flat Earth community, what is this?
Here, Nathan, what if you answer?
How is this going to affect the flat Earth community and the society? What does this mean?
You know, it'll send out ripples, not just to the flat Earth community, but to the globe Earth community too, that these two gentlemen actually went out, tested it, drove across the country, got results that they weren't even happy with. This isn't what they predicted would happen. This isn't what they wanted to happen. But that's science. You know, science doesn't care about anyone's feelings. It's empirical, it's repeatable, and it's observable. And that's what we did here today. So I want to give you guys props, dude. Congratulations. You got an amazing setup.
Now, why is it when Nathan gets a scientific result that he thinks supports his theory, it's like, yay, science is great, and science works, and it's observable, and everything like that. Ignore the fact that Harvard ran out of hazard suits, so they gave this guy a chicken suit, because that obviously makes sense. Hi, Reckless Ben. Thank you for trolling Nathan. It's been fucking awesome. And the fact that he's released videos on it is even fucking better. Jesus Christ. No, Nathan, they are literally taking the piss out of you. The result they wanted to get is for you to fall hook, line and sinker for it and make them fucking content. So yeah, it's been brilliant.
Because I pick my boogers and eat my boogers.
Thank you for that soundbite, Nathan. It's never going to get old. Now, thank you very much, everyone, for joining me this evening. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe down below. You know, all that jazz. Thank you very much to all my Patreons, names flying across the screen now, and my members. If you are a member, don't forget to use your special emojis and things now. And I shall see you all on the next video. And thank you very much for joining us for Lazy Ribbles here on a Thursday night. No idea who's before me, no idea who's after me. It'll all be down in the description below, though. Thank you very much, and good night.